Hello everyone! Today I'll be discussing what I think the collab possibly may be. So as of recent, well, as of yesterday, the brand new, I think it's Green Matrona was revealed. She's a 242 as expected, and Grand Cross is known for just following patterns, so most likely there will be a collab next week. I'm not sure if they're going to do the 5-day thing or the 3-day thing. If it's the 5-day thing, it'll start on Saturday. If it's the 3-day thing, it'll start on Monday. Normally release around between 9 and 11 AM GMT, so of course do bear that in mind. But I thought I would just speak about it, think about what it could be, and there's been it's not a new leak, it's a pretty old leak, but this was the leak here, which people were saying it doesn't actually lead to a collab. All we know is that there is a fire and an ice sword that is inside the files. My initial thought is that they could be outfits. What I mean by that is, if we look at Rem and Ram, they both have like these twin-like outfits. And my initial thought is that it would be two characters that are very close. That one, let's just say, gets the fire outfit, one gets the ice outfit, and they're both purchasable. But then, as you can see there, they were actual skills. Skills makes it a little bit harder, especially because Grand Cross likes to go for like isekai shows and ones like that. So there's not really many they can go for that do have a fire and an ice sword in particular. Maybe I thought initially it was a code name for their like skills. It wasn't like the actual skill name, but I doubt that. I doubt Netmarble is really going that far to hide their stuff. So my initial thoughts were, it could be anything. People were saying sword art. People were saying fairy tale. People are saying like everything and anything. Of course, AOT we initially thought it was because, well, you know, it was a while ago, there was a file and it was one of the Titans. But my current thought is that AOT will rerun in October, mainly because that's when the show is restarting and it's the final bit of the show. So of course I think they might be trying to get as much money out of the hype of the show as possible. So that'll probably be the best time to have the collaboration. Overall, with other collabs, it would be nice to see KOF. Of course, KOF does have like fire and stuff, so it could possibly be KOF. I'm not the biggest KOF fan, so I don't really know much about the show. ReZero, it won't be ReZero. They come back. They've been back 2 years in a row. They won't be back this year. But it would be nice to have them, or at least the older characters LR'd, especially people like Amelia, Beatrice, and Ram, because they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they're definitely not the best. Of course, people are saying that is a new collab with 4 characters and 2 bosses, or maybe 4 characters, 1 boss, and 1 unplayable character, sort of like Slime, where we had 4 characters, which was Ram, Amelia, and Beatrice. We had Subaru, which was the unplayable character in the story, and then we had, of course, Beetlejuice, who was the actual main boss of the entire collaboration, and of course the second time around. We had the rabbits as the 500k CC rabbits as well. But what do I think the collab possibly will be? Or initially, I thought that it could be Eminence in Shadow, only because the word Sword Flare brings up a scene in mind. It's when a character called Iris. Let me quickly pause the recording and find a picture. And we are back. I'm sorry about the really poor quality of this GIF. I tried finding a good GIF for it, but I couldn't really find one, so this is actually the best I could find. You can see here, this is Iris here from the Eminence in Shadow, and her skill, when she picks up this like cursed sword, is like a giant flare attack. And I'm pretty sure there is also someone in Eminence that has an ice sword as well. I wasn't sure if this one would be a boss or not. Maybe not. I don't think they would do her as a boss. I think they would actually do her as a playable character, because she's in the show for quite a bit. But that was just my thought of who it could be. Also, Sword Art Online does seem like a decent one. Maybe if, they're going to put their own little twist on it, and might just think YOLO and just turn them into outfits. Because I thought initially they were outfits. If they were Ice Sword and Fire Sword, they were outfits. Asuna and Kirito would make a good one they could do. I'm not going to go into who would be which, as I don't really know. It depends on how the game perceives them, how they perceive them. But yeah, that's really it. It would have been nice to have AOT back. It would have been nice just to be able to do one rotation. Of course, with them bringing, a new collab, I might have to do 2 again. PTSD from Rising of the Shield Hero. But all I do hope is that it's a half decent collab. This collab was kind of a letdown. Jobless Reincarnated was kind of quite a big letdown. Mainly because, well, okay, the unknown characters were good. The human was mediocre. One of the humans is literally unusable unless you have the other, so, you know, completely horrible. She's literally unusable. Her relic does nothing, literally nothing. On ally, on Rudius ally. If you don't have Rudius, well, you can't use his relic, congrats. Her passive isn't even that good. If you have Kisner, she's a million times better. Of course, AOT definitely would have been my favorite to come back, mainly because you know they need to be fully reworked. You know, 35% crit chance is not usable, and it just would have been nice to see what they would have done with Green Aaron when it comes to transformations. Unless they're still not too sure and they're still thinking about it, because of course, you know, they must have planned these collabs and everything quite far in advance, because of course they've got to get permissions for the IPs, they've got to make everything, and then they've got to give it back to the IP and say, hey, this is what we made, and then they've got to approve it. Because if they don't approve what you, because of course you can get permission to do it, if they don't approve what you make at the end, they could just say, no, that needs to be changed, or so on and so forth. So I'm guessing these collabs have probably been in the works for the past few months. I do hope it's a half-decent collab. Eminence and Shadow would be quite a good one, because it's quite a popular show. It would buff humans and unknowns once again, which is kind of the thing. They're all humans and unknowns. So I'm not going to cope and be like they're going to add a demon collab. I would have liked Overlord, but the only way I could see that this being Overlord is if the Ice Sword is Cocutus, which is like if you just search up Overlord Cocutus, you'll see it, like a giant guy who like controls ice. But fire, I don't really know who they would do. I don't really remember anyone who uses fire in Overlord. But yeah, my two top picks would be either Overlord or Eminence and Shadow. But I said Eminence and Shadow last time and it wasn't, so you know I don't have the best track record. But anyway, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.